আমার নাম তরুণ গুলাটি আছে। আমিও বাংলা বুঝতে পারি। আমি আপনার বন্ধু আছেন, আপনার ভোট আমাকে দেবেন। আমি আপনার সঙ্গে বিনতি করছি, আমার ভোট দিতে হবে। অ্যাফোর্ডেবল হাউজিং ভীষণ প্রবলেম আছে, আমি ওকে গায়েব করে দেবে।
লন্ডন সিটি নানা সমস্যার জর্জরিত, নাইফ ক্রাইম, হাউজিং সমস্যা, স্বাস্থ্য সমস্যা সহ নানা সমস্যার জর্জরিত। 2 মে অনুষ্ঠিত আগামী লন্ডন মেয়র নির্বাচনে অরুণ গুলাটি প্রার্থী হচ্ছেন। আজকে আমরা কথা বলবো অরুণ গুলাটির সাথে এবং জানবো আগামী নির্বাচনে বিজয়ী হলে তার কি পরিকল্পনা রয়েছে। Thank you for giving us time.
My pleasure.
Many thanks.
Thank you very much for speaking with me today. আমিও বাংলা একটু বুঝতে পারি। আমি সবার বাংলা মানুষ বিনতি করছে আমার ভোট দেবে 2nd May. I will make sure I do the best for the Bangla community and for everybody else who lives in London. I'm here for the people. I'm not a politician. They blurred the vision for London. We need somebody who brings in experience, gravitas, and brings in money from outside. There's no room for excuses for London and for Londoners. Believe me, I'm the only person with the name Tarun Gulati. If you look at my accomplishments over the last 40 years, I have made sure no matter what I do, I started selling tomato ketchup and I reached as the chairman of a bank. Only somebody who understands the people. There are 2.2 million people living in poverty in London. 33% are children. I'm going to make sure we create affordable housing. And where you have existing social housing, investments will go into that. No more excuses like the current mayor, Mr. Sadiq Khan, is making, and the incompetence with the current Conservative candidate, Ms. Susan Hall, has shown as a GLA member, including as a Labour. I will create new funds. I was CEO of India's largest asset management company globally. I'll create funds to bring in investments into impact investment into social housing. No more. I'm also going to make sure council taxes and rates come down, because people are, the percept that the mayor gets from the councils needs to come down. I want to make sure this is the safest city in the world. Police stations will be reopened. I will create new booths where we can't create new stations, so you'll see booths all around, so that somebody can go to somebody and ask. The community policing will be there. I want more Met police, Bobbies on the beat. I want to see them in action. And I'm going to have a league table where I'm going to measure them. Preventative cure. I want to create better lighting, better environment, engage with the youth. Policing is not the patchwork sort of thing people are talking about. All the candidates talking about, I'm going to bring in more policing, I'm going to reopen police. No, it's a holistic idea. It can't be a patchwork sort of thing. When you bring people along, safety will come along. This safety is at its lowest ebb today. I'm going to abolish ULEZ totally. This is not to be there, because London has come to a standstill thanks to some very poor policies by the current mayor. This disaster policy of ULEZ has to go. The 20-mile-per-hour limit has to become history, unless it's got to be close to a hospital or a school, when we make sure that we create it. And low traffic neighborhoods, again, in reviewing with the councils, I'm going to make sure the history congestion charge over weekends and holidays needs to go. And I'm going to make sure London is the greenest city, most digitally connected, so that the SMEs, I advise, I'm the chairman of one of the largest startup foundations in the world. I advise the police as a strategic advisor to the Global Cyber Alliance. So understand policing, none of the other candidates do. So I'll make sure it's the safest city, greenest city, where everybody smiles. I want to bring back the smiles on every London. Hobe na investment. I'll bring in investments from outside. I'll create an impact fund, multi-billion-dollar fund, profitable. No excuses. If the government doesn't give the money, আমি আপনার সঙ্গে বিনতি করছি, অ্যাফোর্ডেবল হাউজিং প্রবলেম আপনার হবেই না, গায়েব হয়ে যাবে। বেশুন আপনার যে সোশ্যাল হাউজিংতে, ইফ ইউ আর লিভিং ইন এ সোশ্যাল হাউজিং, ওইখানে আমি ইনভেস্টমেন্ট পেতে দেবে, সো দ্যাট দি পিপল ক্যান কল হোম, আপনার বাড়ি আমার বাড়ি ভালো আছে।
Now, if the people are income is low,
Yes,
and expenditure is high,
yes,
TFL day by day increase the fare. If you elect, what's about your TFL plan?
Firstly, I'll make access for people, for the disabled. I'm also going to make sure that the Freedom Pass and the 60-plus pass is available for everybody who's over 60. I'm also going to make sure we will review so there's more equitable and fairness. We're going to make sure, if I can bring down, because I'm not going to be taking all the money from the, I'm going to create a transportation investment fund so that I can bring down the cost on TFL. In fact, Mr. Khan has promised to increase the rates. I'm going to bring them down in due course because I'll create a fund so that I'm going to bring in investments into TFL. You will never have seen transportation moving because what Mr. Khan has done is you can neither move on the road because it's come to a standstill with bad policies. I'm going to make sure, and strikes will become history because I've dealt with unions all over the world. I'm going to make sure strikes become history because compensation needs to be reviewed. Council tax and rate tax, because the percept that the mayor is taking from the councils is very, very onerous on also on cost of living. Once you're not paying the ULEZ charges, when you're not paying congestion charges over the weekend, when your council taxes come down, your fares become equitable, you're having good housing, secure and safe. This 156 hours is the slowest and the most congested city in the world. That means over 1,375 pounds each driver is wasting in congestion, and that is also impacting growth because if you can't move around, it is impacting your growth. You're looking at the shoulder, over your shoulder. Women need to be protected. All genders need to be protected.